And as you can see right here, we were able to help her get over $110,000 in capital to help her scale her business the correct way, because this is actually what it takes. Imagine this, business owner, you just woke up in the morning, you looked at your phone, and it shows that you just got approved for $110,000 in capital. You just seen one of my clients get approved for that, so now it's definitely your turn. I help business owners all the time from any type of category, whether it's service-based, digital, chiropractic, you name it, get capital to start or scale their operations. So I'm going to break down everything that you are actively going to need so you can get approved for high limits just like this. So what I want you to do is go grab your pen and paper, and without further ado, let's dive in. All right, ladies and gents, business owners, whoever's watching this, let's just go ahead and be real and be honest with each other. Many of my clients do, in fact, land $50 to $300 in funding, but here's the key of what I'm going to tell you. It doesn't happen magically, okay? It's not a magic pill that you take and then you just wake up in the morning, like I said, and you get $110,000. No, everybody has a specific path, and there's a correct path that you're gonna have to take. Everybody wants everything extremely fast nowadays. I understand we're in the social media age. Because I'm just going to tell you like this, ladies and gents, to build your personal credit, build your business credit, to really get, business capital funding, however you want to see it, it's like planting that tree, all right? It's not flipping a switch. Why? Because to get capital for your business, you must first look good on paper. No matter how you twist and turn it. I don't care what that ad told you. I don't care what you saw when you were scrolling on that 8-second video that didn't tell you the whole ins and outs and everything. No, it takes an actual plan to get the funding that you're looking for, okay? And I'm just going to be honest with you and tell you that's what it is. If that's not what you're looking for, you're not looking for honesty, you can go ahead and click off the video. This isn't for you. But for all of my people that actually want to structure and get things right, continue to keep watching, because I'm going to help you. Because it's at the end of the day, you have to understand this. It's not you walking into a bank asking for money. You're asking on behalf of an entity. All right. So it's not just you, Bob, walking into a bank and saying, hey, bank, can I please have, $20, $50, $100, $300,000 in funding right now? No, it's you saying, hey, it's me, Bob. And I know I've been, a banker here on the personal side for a long time, but hey, I have this business right here. It's doing awesome. It's doing great. I think it's going to do really well. Here, I have XYZ, ABC going on. And I'm telling you, I think this is a really good idea. So can you give me some money for it? That's literally what you're saying to the banks, and me just breaking it down to you. Okay. And you have to make sure that you look good on paper. That's what it is. It's not Bob. It's Bob advocating for Bob LLC. So everything has to show up strong, no matter how you twist and turn it. All of the clients that I've shown you, they all had to do the same thing. They had to look good on paper. And the reason why is because if you're not trying to personal guarantee or anything like that, then it's going to be harder for you. And I'll explain that more in the video, but that's what it is. Because you're a stranger to the bank. Always remember that. You're a stranger. They don't know you. And you literally came out of nowhere and you asked for money. All right. That's the same thing as you being in your hometown, your hood, whatever you came from. And out of nowhere, just this person comes up, is like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? My name is, you remember me from back in the day or whatever? Hey, I got this crazy plan. You know what I'm saying? And I think we should go make rent-a-spoons or something like that. We're going to make rent-a-spoons. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make $100 million a year. Only thing I need is $50,000. And you still stuck on the part of, who are you? Like, you asking me for money? Like, come on, bro. Like, what are we talking about right now? You asking me for money? I don't even know you. You got some comparables? No. You got some collateral? Well, no. Then why should I loan you money? Because okay. So let me show you how I help and structure all of my clients to really have that personal credit and that risk balance extremely low. So the next step that we're going to talk about is your personal credit. Yes, it matters. I don't care how you twist and turn it. I know you've heard, again, like I stated earlier, EIN only funding, no personal guarantee. If you want a no personal guarantee, we could definitely help you. Yeah, that sounds all cool and great, but here's the reality of this. All right, ladies and gents, unless you are ready for high risk, unless you are ready for shortcut bite backs, then this isn't for you. And what I'm talking about is merchant cash advances, MCAs. Now, it might look easy, but it's often comes with, extremely high APRs, short payback windows, and we're talking about even bi-weekly payments of $500 to $5,000, depending on how much you were approved for and what they gave you. For some people, this does work. For some people, this does work. For some people that they know how to flip money extremely fast, they've been in this industry for a long time. They're like, look, I don't have time to, fix my credit and do all this type of stuff. I just need the capital now. I'm literally gonna have the capital back in like 2 weeks, a month, or something like that to pay it back. Then that's definitely for them. But for all of my people that are starting up, or you're in a pickle and you're like, look, I really need this, yada, 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 this is not going to be for you, okay? Because that's an even higher risk than you trying to get your credit right and just get money from the bank. Different strokes, different folks. And I will even show you on screen an example of some of the terms that I've helped people get when it came to MCAs. No, I didn't, bamboozle them into MCAs. They asked for it. I do have connections with MCAs, and this was part of what they had to do. This is what they had to honor, and they did definitely honor it. But this is what you have to go through. Are you ready for this? If not, no, then let's keep talking. Because using your personal credit, PGing, however you want to do it, is just being that safety net for that business. I don't understand why everybody wants, all the reward, but they don't want to take any type of risk. Going back to the Bob example, Bob is advocating for Bob LLC. And everything looks good, and they're like, yeah, sure, no problem. But Bob, this is what we're telling you right now. Before we give you this money, we're going to tell you this. If this business goes belly up, we're coming after you for this money. We're giving you $50,000. We expect you to pay that back if Bob LLC doesn't pay that back. Are you okay with that? Yes. Sign right here. Let's get it going. It's the same exact thing, all right? No matter what you do, you're going to take a risk. But I'm telling you this right now. It might sound scary, but understand this and keep this in the back of your head. You either take that risk or you risk never taking action and always wondering what if. And sometimes that can sting way harder than taking the action at all. Because at the end of the day, people always want the aesthetics of being successful, but they don't want to do what it takes to be successful. That's what I've noticed in this era that we're all in. Everybody wants to live in the penthouse, drive the Lamborghinis, look at their phone, they made $50 million without doing anything, because that's how we all portray it on social media, but it doesn't work like that. But if you want that, then continue to keep dreaming. Look on social media, working 9 to 5, nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to do, just do that. But if you're like, no, I want to make a change for myself, and not only myself, but my family, my family's family, whatever your why is, then you're going to have to start from the ground and get everything going. And even though it's going to be a risk, but there's a way on how you can strategically take that risk so you're not falling too far short, just in case if something happens. So here's what it's going to take to qualify for using your personal credit to help your business get funded. The first thing that we're going to talk about, and just how I help all of my clients, well, some of them actually come in with great credit scores as well. Good personal credit. That means you're going to need at least a 700 plus credit score, okay? That's just surface level. There's way more deeper than that. People can have a 700 credit score and have a bunch of negatives on their credit report. How do I know? Because I'm helping a bunch of them now. All right. The next thing that we're going to talk about is clean credit history. That means minimal red flags. When you apply to these banks, and how I do it when I talk to all of my bank reps, all of my connections, they tell me, hey, John has this on his report. John has that on his report. We need to get rid of that before we do any type of, dings to his credit, before we give it to this underwriter and things of that nature. So Eric, you're going to have to go back to him and tell him X, Y, Z, A, B, C, let's clean that up, and then we'll go from here. Because the smallest red flag can stop you from, it can really range from you having that minimum red flag and getting $8,000 of an approval, not having no red flags and getting $80,000 on approval. That's a humongous difference, okay? And that goes to also staying patient. The next thing that we're going to talk about is the ability to show how you can handle obligations or comparable credit, okay? So it's not about just the score, it's about your profile. So you want $100,000, but you've never even handled $5,000. Don't understand? Let me break it down to you. Let's just say right now you're looking at your credit score and you have an 800 across the board, right? You're like, you know what? I want a Bentley. So I'm gonna walk into the Bentley dealership. I'm gonna look at them like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? I want this 2026 Bentley right here. All right. You can look at my credit scores. Here they are. They pull it. They're looking at it and they're like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and deny you. And you're like, what? Like, what's going on? Yo, I got the awesome credit scores. My credit report. I don't have no negatives. I don't have no inquiries. Why are you denying me? They're like, because the car that you're looking for is worth over $100,000. The only thing you've ever had in your time that we can see right now is a Toyota. Nothing wrong with Toyota. This Toyota that you bought was $30,000. You see how much of a difference $30,000 is from $100,000? So we don't know if you can handle this type of car that's worth so much. And because we don't know, we're not going to try to find out and be the first ones. So we're going to deny you. But let's say you went in and you had a $60,000 car that you paid off, or you're almost paying off, and you asked for $100,000, and you still have all the check marks as far as 800 credit score. Now we're talking. So now when they look at your report, like, okay, so he's had, or he or she's had $60,000 of a car before, auto loan, and they want this, I think that they can handle it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. This is what I mean by comparable credit. So if you want $100,000 in business capital, then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to show that you can handle it on the consumer side as far as high limit credit cards, $25,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, anything of that nature. And that's how I help all of my clients, because all of my clients that come in, they don't always have comparable credit. So what I do is I make sure I structure their report properly to help them do it. And no, it's not with authorized user trade lines. It's not with that at all. You can't just slap authorized user trade lines on your report and just get $1 million. It don't even work like that anymore. It worked like that 3 years ago, but no. Next thing we're talking about is your business entity and making sure that it's structured properly, okay? You have to make sure that you're not triggering any red flags showing high risk. Even if you're in a high risk industry like real estate, crypto, trucking, adult entertainment, cannabis, anything of that nature, even consulting. Consulting is a high risk industry now. If you're in any of these and you have it showing on your NAICS code, if you have any of this showing on your business name or anything like that, John, Bob Cannabis, Bob Trucking, Bob Transportation, anything like that, that is a high risk industry. And again, if you're in a high risk industry and they're even with a great credit report showing, you're still going to get denied, or you're going to get a relatively low limit and you're not going to be able to get over that cap. And that's what you don't want as well. So make sure that you're, structuring everything properly. When I help, my clients get age corporations and stuff like that, I make sure that the business is a low risk industry, low risk NAICS code, or if you just want to do it with your LLC, just make sure that everything is structured generically so you fly under the radar. That's what it's all about at the end of the day, okay? Even if you are in a high risk industry, don't tell them that off the bat, because understand, it's not about, I have a great credit score, so let me go ahead and apply to every single bank that I see and hope for the best. It's not about shotgunning, okay? So you're going to need a really good strategy, a custom sequence tailored to your situation. That's what I help every single client do, because at the end of the day, it's going to be based off your location, your business entity, your credit report, revenue. There are so many things, okay? I know I've given, videos about sequences and what you could do for this bank and things like that, and other people have too, but you got to understand it has to work for you. It has to make sense. Keep the main thing the main thing. For example, I work with a few people and I've helped them with this sequence right here. I don't know if this might work for you, but a sequence where you can hit Amherst Bank, and then you can hit First Citizens Bank, and then Citizens Bank. Okay, you got to make sure that they are all in your area, but these three banks right here have been helping people get, $50, $75, $100,000 on the business side when everything is done properly. I've been doing that, for a few people, and it's definitely been helping. It might help you as well. And I know some of you are probably thinking, man, I could do a foreign entity filing with my business. So if my business is not in that area, I could put it in that area and then apply. Kind of like Citizens Bank and stuff like that. They're not too friendly with those anymore because they know that's a thing now. So sometimes they're not really for that. So that's what I'm saying. You might have to use something else that was just an example. But it's a good start though. I'm glad that you're thinking. But let's keep this going. Next thing I just want to talk about is when it comes to the tiers of banking products. Everybody wants a business loan, business line of credit. You got to understand that there are tiers to this. If you're a brand new business, you're going to have to start with credit cards, and then you can move into loans and then lines of credit if you don't have the revenue in 2 years of tax returns. But that does not mean that you can't scale quickly to $200,000, $250,000, or even $300,000 relatively quickly, because I do it all the time. All right. For your business to run and scale, you're going to have to access this type of capital because you want to make sure that you can, take care of expenses, time management, employees, things like that. So having this type of capital is definitely going to help you. And you can do this with credit cards and loans. I promise you, don't let anybody tell you any different, because chasing a specific type of capital or business product can definitely be exhausting. Trust me, I know. And on top of that, banks are always changing their qualifications or requirements. So you have to stay up to date and be prepared for everything. Because what worked a few years ago does not work now. I know some people just regurgitate a lot of information. Not saying that, that's wrong or anything, but that's why I say always fact check, do your due diligence. Everybody still to this day is always telling you, yo, if you go get kickoff and Avon on your report, you're gonna get $100,000. I hear new people say that all the time. No, it don't work like that no more. How does Chase look when you have a credit builder? And even I said that before. You have a credit builder on your account and you've never had anything else, and that's all you have, and you think they're gonna give you $100,000? I learned that the hard way when it came to my bank reps. They were like, Eric, all this person has is kickoff on their report of $3,500, and this is a credit builder. They don't have anything else? No, ma'am, they don't. Well, we're not gonna give them $50,000. They're gonna have to do something else. And I'm like, okay. So I had to learn that the hard way, and I don't want you to have to learn that the hard way either. You know how embarrassing that is to go back to a client and tell them, hey, only thing you have are credit builders and that's it. We're gonna have to maneuver. When you tell them, yeah, we're gonna do all this in a specific amount of time. So that's why I'm trying to help you to avoid any type of headache. So just keep that in mind when it comes to qualifications, requirements, and things like that. That's why I always say is in the making of this video. Fact check everything before you execute. All right, so let's quickly recap. You just saw somebody in the beginning get over $110,000 in capital, and this could definitely be you. But to get there, you must look good on paper, all right? So that means your personal credit matters, and you need to have a smart business strategy sequence, all right? It's not about the shortcuts, it's about the correct path. So if you're a business owner, whether you're in real estate, day trading, service-based, trucking, it does not matter what category, and you're looking for capital to really start or scale your business, I have a handheld process for you, as you can see right here. I've helped countless business owners get capital, and I want to do the same exact thing for you. It's not about the money. I just want the testimonial from you to show that this is definitely possible with the right people and the right connections. So what I want you to do is click the link below right now to schedule a consultation with us. That is extremely free, so we can help you specifically with your needs to get you $110,000 or even $300,000 in funding. Because as you can see, the only thing that you need is faith and action. That is it. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. I really hope that this helps one of you guys, and I can't wait to get you on that call so we can help you get any type of funding that you're looking for. Again, I want to thank you guys for stopping by, and until next time, ladies and gents.